What are we doing? I notice I'm just sat here on my computer, just browsing the market and waiting. I saw Accountability King looking very sad by himself, so I thought I'd come in and have a chat with you. How are you, bud? You had a good weekend? Hopefully you have. So I've been looking. I actually came on a bit earlier. Actually, I did consider taking this. We've had sort of two legs up, and it sort of went just tiny, just more or less to the nearest tick. I looked at that and considered that, but it's definitely ranging. But it's touched the bottom twice, but it's only touched the top really sort of here. So I wanted to give it another touch really before I thought about fading the breakout. But obviously it would have worked. We've had one leg down, a little bit of sideways, and I'm expecting another leg down, possibly to where the market opened. So that's what it's looking like. Push down, a little bit of sideways, push down. So we got in here. Accountability King, good morning. Leading loser, morning. Nicholas, morning. How are we all this morning? I'm on a little bit earlier than normal. I don't usually come on for about another sort of 5-10 minutes, but I'm sat up here anyway. I've done what I needed to do. So, as you can see, I've adjusted my chart a little bit. Somebody mentioned the day I had it on positions. Somebody wanted to see what my accounts were. So, what I've done is added an extra box over here. So, that shows you, that's just a sim, that is, but that shows you my PA account and my 3 evaluations. So hopefully that'll help. And I've got this little bit down here. So this is all to do with my, where is it? This is all to do with my, let's just check a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's fine. This is all to do with my trade copy. That's all. So, yeah, somebody wanted to see the accounts, but obviously I kind of like to keep it on there. So I put the accounts over in that separate little box by itself there. So, so as my, what I want to do is just try and make this trade copier as problem free as I can. So what I've done is I've got these two, but I've left that on positions. So when I open an order, where's that cancelled? Why is that showing cancelled there? Oh, hold on a second. Why is that showing cancelled? Let me just do that again. Let's just make this a little bigger. So if I open up, say, sell. Okay, that's better. It was underneath. What I'm looking for is for, I don't know why that's come up by itself there. I'm looking for 4 of these anyway, so just to make sure they've all been accepted. So if the trade goes through and any of these don't move into filled, I can individually close them down and obviously leave the one that's left in filled, so that makes things a bit easier for me. So let's just make sure that pops back up there. Why they're not coming to the top? Why they're not automatically coming to the top? That's about frustrating. They should come to the top. Well, perhaps they will actually. Oh, no. Let me just pop an order up here. Buy order. Okay, that's there. Why are they not showing? Why are they going down here? I don't quite know why. And on the bottom, let's try again. Okay. That's fine. Let's just try one more time. Buy stop market. Yeah, I kind of don't like why it's doing that. It's I wish you could get rid of these when they've. Perhaps there's a way. Why don't you try replicants free trial just to see it? Yeah, the trouble is, because I've paid for this, I kind of want to try and make it work, and I think it'll work okay. I just want to make sure it's giving me all the information I need when I put a buy order in there. So those 4 orders are fine there, yeah? I just don't understand why they're at the bottom. So let's shut them individually down. That should disappear as. Let me just put another buy order in. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. Let's scroll down. Okay, so we can leave it at the top because it was putting the orders at the top. Now, for some reason, it's putting them down the bottom. I don't know. It's randomly putting them. I kind of don't like that. Hold on a second. Okay, who we got in this morning? Dream Trades. Good morning, Nicholas. Yeah, we had a chat about that. I'll look into that. Luffy, maybe a range 8. Looks like that. Yes, Future Traders. Good morning. How you doing, Bill? GM Money. Good morning. I bought Replicant over the weekend myself, and I'm using it all day today. First few trades, no issues. Okay, let me know how that gets on as you move throughout the day. I don't know why that. Let me just move this out of the way. I wish you could get rid of these. There's probably a way of doing it, isn't there? Cancel orders. Let me have a look. Filter orders. Only active orders. That's what I want, isn't it? No, that's not going to show me if they're filled, isn't it? Okay, let's have a little look. Let's pop an order in. Buy. Okay, they're coming up. Brilliant. Only active orders. Are they going to show fill? They should do. So if I close them down. There we go. Now we're talking. Brilliant. That's what I wanted. Okay. That's fantastic. Let's just try one more time. Buy orders. There we go. They're in there. That's brilliant. That's what I wanted. So I know now when I put up an order, if that order triggers, what I'm looking for is all 4 orders in there. If just the bottom one is, because what I don't want is to have an order to act as a buy or a sell order if it doesn't actually trigger. So at least then I can quickly close down those 3 and just leave the one that's currently filled. So that's fine, actually. That's much better. So let's put that back there. So that shows my positions. That shows any orders currently outstanding. And that shows my account balance. Somebody mentioned they wanted to see the account balance. So I popped it over there. So hopefully things should be okay. Let's see how we get on. That lag's quite high. That's the highest I've seen it. Whether that's going to make a difference or not, I don't know. Let's just reload my market data. Tend to do that. Okay, who am I missing? Grandpa Roger, good morning. Morning, Jim. You haven't tested it yet. Let me know how you get on. Let me know how you get on with that. I think we are calling off one more last solid round later. Yeah, if I look on the markets have seemed to be doing well. I know cryptos have been really pumping. Obviously, we've had that since last year. Well, we're in January now, so the beginning of last year. So every time we come up to the top, we're clearly pushing back down. But the last trip up to the top, we had a push down, a little bit of sideways, and then we've had some really good bullish days, followed by a couple of bearish days, and we had a really strong push up Friday. So whether we're sort of retesting here or we're retesting the top, or whether indeed we may have a breakout, but it certainly could be bearish. But the trouble is, even if we pull back part of the way to that candle, halfway, that could be a bearish day. So it's quite hard to judge that sometimes. But I like to just have a browse at it. How you doing, what? So yeah, so I've got these where I want them. So I've gone over them and over them. I've done some studying over the weekend. So everything is as I want it. If I take an order, it's going to come up there state. If all 4 orders, in other words, the PA account and the 3 evaluations trigger, I should see 4 filled. If only one's filled, the PA account, then I can quickly just cancel those 3 with the click of the button, and they won't end up being like last week where those shorts ended up turning into buy orders. And now, I had a result. Somebody mentioned here, MOR, I think his name showed up, about talking to Marion at Apex. So I messaged Marion last week, middle of last week, about the problem I'd had with sell orders turning into buy orders, because I've looked and re-looked at Daryl's videos about using the trade copy, and nowhere does it mention be aware of that. A sell order can turn into a buy order. So I messaged Marion, lovely lady, got straight back to me, asked me how much I'd lost and refunded my 3 evaluations with $200 in. So that was really nice of her. She was really nice. I did mention that I'm a live streamer and that she was welcome to look at my account if she needed to figure out, but I think she figured that out. But whether I swayed any weight because I mentioned I had 100 people watching, whether that made a difference or not, I don't know. But she was a lovely lady. She explained what happened, told me how to try and avoid that, and refunded my evaluation. So I was really pleased with that. It was a good result. She was a lovely lady. So that was good. So if you ever do have any issues and you don't seem to have any luck with the normal Apex, then you can bypass straight to Marion. I think Marion seems to deal with any problems that seem to be unresolved and people are a little bit frustrated around. So just keep that in mind. So, blah, blah, blah. Where are we? Friday's daily candle, almost no wick. Yeah. Thing is, we can tick above that and pull back somewhat, can't we? Which we did tick above and we did pull back a little bit. So yeah, it certainly could go nice and bullish today. Things do seem to be having a bit of a pump at the moment. I'm not sure why. I don't know, is inflation starting to creep back down? I don't really know. I've not paid too much attention to it lately. We had some news last week that didn't really seem to do much. I believe we've got some tomorrow and then Thursday. So I don't know. Maybe if we've had a bit of a pump, I would say maybe there's some relatively good news or some brighter days on the horizon. So we'll have to see about that. So what time is it now? Okay, market opens in about 6 minutes on my chart. So as I say, I marked the top of this and we did have 2 legs up and I considered doing that. In fact, I had my order, but I changed my mind because it has only hit this sort of here, isn't it? If we'd hit it here, then I'd thinking about fading the breakout. But at the moment, we've bounced off a few different places here and we've just hit with those 2 candles there. So I bottled out of it and probably rightly so. Although it would have worked. The trouble is sometimes if I've got to try and get out of that if trade works. If it wasn't a great setup and it worked, sometimes it can give you a slightly overconfident look. Some numbers at 10 a.m, but not much news today, no. I did look at Marco's chart earlier on. Marco's sort of weekly prediction and what was likely to happen today, but strong push back up here. It's faded this... So that tells me it hasn't even come back here. It hasn't made 2 legs back. We've had this. See, in a lot of cases, when we fade the breakout, I expect to come back into the range a bit, although we did, but not for long. We broke out the bottom of this range and strongly pushed up. So G-Money, I think your prediction of some upwards movements may be correct. Because we did have that breakout, but it came back and not very far. It didn't even come to the midline or yet where the market opened, which more or less are the same actually. So maybe we're going to get some more strong pushes up. So if it does push up, I think I'll avoid fading the break out of this unless that is a bigger area. So let's have a look. Touching there and there. And it's touching at the top of the body there and there. So that's sort of touching in 4 places. So if I bring it down to here, it's only really touching 2. So let's leave it there for now. It's faded back in. See, I'm expecting it to come in a bit, which is why I didn't fade that. Because I thought it might tick up and it's starting to tipsy and I was expecting it to come back at least to here. Strongly pushed in there with a fair sizey bar. 5 points that was, so... maybe we are going to start making some highs. It's probably early yet to start drawing channels, but I don't know, maybe we'll have something like that, who knows. So, hope everyone had a good weekend. It's a breakout since we are still pre-market yet. Trouble is, though, when it came back in, it didn't come back in far, did it? And we had a break and strongly pushed that back into the range. Now we're pushing above this little range here, so maybe we are having some upwards movement. We certainly could do. Things in the markets are quite positive at the moment. I know my cryptos have been doing really well, actually. I know one of my cryptos has gone up 140% in the last couple of weeks. So, not that I had a fantastic amount in there. There's a few hundred pound. That was it. But nice to see that happening. I'm bullish on today, but we'll get a good entry. Yeah, it is starting to look bullish, isn't it? So yeah, the daily. Obviously, we've been coming down here for the last sort of 12 months, and we've had this range, and we've had a break out of it. We haven't pulled back into it. It's pushed up, a bit of a pullback, and it's gone up. Friday's bar finished on its high, and we've had a little bit of a pullback, but we seem to be positively moving up. So that is making me think that we may have it. And if I look at the 10,000 tick chart, certainly we seem to be making some slightly upwards movement. So that's what I'm thinking at the moment. But obviously, I'll have to trade the chart as we see it. But it's nice to have an idea where it's going to be going, because it makes your trade choices a little bit easier. You're less likely to maybe start shorting or trading in the wrong area. So. Incidentally, it's the last day of this 80% off. So if you are going to get any evaluations, it runs out in so many hours. 12 hours. Basically, you've got today. So I have got a code up here. I do get a kickback from it, but it doesn't cost you anything more. And I have had some really good amounts going into there lately. So if anybody has used this code, I really do appreciate it. It's certainly more than paid for my graphics card that I purchased so I could do all this streaming. So I'm really pleased about that. So if you are going to get an evaluation, today's the day. Obviously, you don't have to use that code if there's some other guy or someone else you see, or a buddy user, but whatever I'm happy with. But if you do use it, it's appreciated. Right, markets has just opened on my chart. Right, now there is a breakout. Now I'd be less inclined to fade this just at the moment, because I'm thinking upwards at the moment. Although you would have got a few points out of that, a couple of points out of it. Actually, it's not a bad trade, I think, that, to be honest with you. We've had this, we've had a breakout and a new high. Actually, that's quite a good trade now I think about it. The only thing that put me off it is when we had a breakout before, we didn't come back in very far. So that's what made me a bit nervous. And as well as not coming back any far, we did push up very strongly. So, but anybody take that? I don't think that was a bad trade, actually. Push up, break. Trouble is, if you start thinking about which direction it's going to go, it can put you off taking possibly good trades. And I don't think that was a bad one at all, actually. Even if you rode that back to the EMA, there's a couple of points there. Let's just see if that fits anywhere. Bounced off this open here, so see if it does push any lower. We'll see if it stalls there. Let's just see if that pushes up and closes. I'll get rid of it. There's no Okay, well, it's closing around the midline, which is, let me just get rid of it for a minute. Just get a short-term trend channel in there. Okay, we've had a bit of a break. Yeah, see, I'm inclined not to go short here, really. Okay, so this is a break. Let's see if we get a couple of pushes up. Just got to be a bit careful here. You took 2 points. Yeah, well done, Sam. I think actually the more I look at that, the more I think it was okay. Because at the moment, I mean, we may turn out to be bullish for of the day, but I think even if you rode that back to the EMA or to the bottom of here, I think there's definitely a few points there. So, okay, so yeah, I think it's risky taking that, even if it's bearish. There's no setup there. There's just one push up. Let me see if I can widen this a touch. That looks okay. Okay, so one push up. Let's see if we can get another push up here. First entry. See if we can get another push up. Then I might try and take it down at the bottom here. May go a bit lower actually, but I'm a little bit not confident about taking it through there. So see if we can maybe get a few points here. Let's have a look. Okay, so we've had the short-term trend channel. We've had one push up. First entry. If we can push a bit higher here, see what happens. But it is looking a little bit congested here. May's gone a bit flat, but see what happens. Didn't even really get us an option, did we? Did it? Can't take that really. Okay. One leg down, two leg down. It could be like that, or it could be one leg, two leg. Ooh, that's tempting, isn't it? Right off the bottom here. It's quite a big bar though, isn't it? 7. It's 4 3/4. It's quite a chunky bar, that. Plus a tick above, tick above. That's 5 1/4 points. Too risky, that is. We didn't make a new low anyway, so. But it has bounced off the daily, and that would have made a. You'd have got 4 points at that. It's just a bit risky, I think. Short-term trend channel. We've had a break. So it is what it is. See what happens. One leg up, two legs up. Another one I think's a bit risky. I'd have preferred it a little bit higher. Let's just remove that. Okay, that seemed to work out all right as well. Okay, so if you're it's getting a little bit sideways and choppy here, I've got to say. Took the second entry triple test. I did look at that. I'd have preferred it a little bit above here. So it depends. If some of you is trading a demo, there are trades I took on a demo that I won't take with live money. And now I'm sort of on a P account. I tend to get a little bit extra cautious. This market's moving nice and quickly, actually. Let's get a short-term trend channel, see if we can get a break and maybe it bangs back off this line. Just wondering, is it starting to... kind of is, really, isn't it? It's hard to say at the moment. So when we had a push down and a pull back, it came down, but it didn't make a new low. So we'll see what happens here. But it's just definitely a little bit too choppy at the moment, I think. Just pop that back because it seems to be working down. Let's see what happens here. There's a channel down. Yeah, I've been looking at it. I have had it there a couple of times, but the trouble is, it is going sideways. So let me just pull this out of the way a minute. In fact, let me just tell you what I'll do. Let's put that channel back. Just wondering, it fits nice there, but it might have had a bit of a breakout there, but it might not have done. So let's just bring it back to here. Let's just take the colour away from here a minute. So I can see it a bit clearer. Okay, that's a bit better, isn't it? In fact, let's make it a different colour. That's a bit clearer. Okay, so just in case it is push, I mean, we're certainly sideways at the moment, but it does seem to be it's touched here, It's working here nice. It touched there nice. Possible hidden second entry short. See what happens here. See if we can break above here a little bit up here. It's got to break above here though, because I don't like those three. If it comes back and finishes here, then I'm not. Yeah, it's just risky, that is, with those 3 bars sat side by side. If we had a little push out of here, then I might be inclined to come back in. Yeah, that was a second entry. Sure, I did look at that. But we're still sort of rangy sideways, aren't we? Okay, 2 pushes up. Let's see if we can get another push up. Let's get a short ready. We can push above here. And I kind of like. Possible hidden second entry short here. I kind of like this one because we've broken out of the range a bit and we're right. Sorry, broken out the channel a bit and we're right at the top of the range as well. So let's see what happens here. See how this finishes. Okay, I think that's all right. Trouble is, when you have these sideways and the down channel, it tends to get a little bit confusing sometimes. So everything's working fine there anyway on that. So that's something. I'll try and come down here or to the midline. I think it'd be probably a safer place. I've had a doji there, and that's made me a little bit nervous. Okay, not good. Okay, the trouble is when you draw these downtrends, they can confuse the thing a bit. Down a bit. We're down a few $100. Okay. Let's have a look. Let's put that back in there. I've got to trade how I see it. Somebody mentioned about the channel, and there kind of is, but at the moment it's chopping sideways, so I've got to be careful of it. That, you could say it was part of a downtrend, but that had a hidden second entry long with a bearish bar. Yeah, see, DZT, that's the thing. At the moment, it's going sideways. And if you start drawing those, although it's sort of fitted, we had a break out of it, a hidden second entry short, big bearish bar. Let's have a look. I've got to trade the chart how I see it. Let's see what happens here. In fact, you've got a couple of points off that. Okay, that is a second entry short. Right at the top of this channel. So it's quite a low risk as well, I think. See if we can get something out of this. Get it to the EMA, if anything. If we can get back in the green. Not a good start to the day. Just going to give that one extra tick. Sometimes it's saved me in the past, and if that comes down a bit, I'm going to get out of this trade, I think. Okay, not good. Okay, let's have a look. Not good at all. Should have left that one. Okay, my rule, 2 trades, and I finish. Shouldn't have took that one. I should have just left this thing as it was, really. I've got to keep doing it my own way and not look at what anybody else says about the chart. Frustrated. Okay. Well, I did say that if I lose 2 in a session, that's my done for the day. So that's it, guys. That's me. Finished. I'm frustrated. I took that one. I should have just not put the channel at the moment. It's definitely going sideways. So that's it for me. Okay. Short trading session today. That is it for me, guys. Trading again tomorrow. So, sorry, Lucas. I was just about to finish, I think. I don't see the point in in trading on, really. My rule is that if I lose 2 losses in a day, so that I have no more than $800 loss. So, yeah. Switch to a sim now. I'd rather just go away and get my head clear, to be fair. I looked at someone that says the channel, and I've got to stop doing that because I drew a channel and I made it. I wouldn't have normally drew that downtrend there. I'm not saying it wasn't, but I wouldn't have normally drawn that because at the moment we're going sideways. If I drew that, see, I ended up taking that short as a hidden second entry short, but it's clearly not. So I've got to stop listening to what I've got to trade my own chart as it is. Just jumped on now. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll trade on again. I'll carry on. I did say maximum of $800, so we'll see what happens. But I've got to stop. I've got to trade. The trouble is, I'm looking at some of the comments, and someone's saying there's a channel down there, and I end up going down. And somebody mentioned about a channel down there. And at the moment, we're going sideways, and I put it there and ended up taking that fell breakout, and it carried on going up. So I've got to stop. I've got to trade the chart how I see it. So let's carry on. Let's carry on for now. See what happens. But if I lose another one, then that's definitely it for the day. Okay. Yeah, the trouble is, if I keep following other people's rules and it goes bad, I'm going to think I'm better off not live streaming anymore. So I want to do that because it's definitely helped me. But I did it with Brant a week ago. He mentioned something, and I changed. He mentioned a different trend channel. I changed it, and we had a break of it, and I went long and ended up getting stopped out. And when I looked at Mac's chart and Marco's chart, his was exactly the same as mine, and if I'd left it, so a couple of times I've taken trades, listened to people's ideas, and I've got to stop doing it. So see how we get on. See, this is sort of a breakout, isn't it? This is a breakout of this channel. So would you short that? In fact, that's a lower high, isn't it? Let's see if it does come. It's getting a little bit sideways, isn't it? Okay. It's quite a small risk, I think. No, it's too sideways. It's too sideways, that. It's 2.5 points. It's just too sideways. A little bit choppy. Well, I don't know. I've seen Mac take hidden second entries many times, and if we're going with a channel, it was a clear breakout and a bearish bar. Or was it there? I can't remember now. I think it was here. Let's get rid of that. I've got some trading rules, mate. I've got them on a printed laminated paper on my computer. The trouble is, when I put that like that, it's still choppy and sideways. And when we had this breakout, most breakouts fail, don't they? So it was a hidden second entry short. It came down a bit, but then carried on going up. So I wouldn't have normally drawn that. See, I drew it because somebody mentioned it. So at the moment it's sideways. So let's just do things like that. Yeah, we may be getting some strong bullish movement. It's sort of giving that impression, isn't it? Let's see if that does go to the top. Let's just faint this down a little bit. That loss was a second entry. It was a hidden second entry short, that one. Strong move up, that is. Mm. We don't have a key entry point here where if you were short back into it. If we have a failed breakout, most breakouts fail, so then you fade back in. So that channel you mentioned there, we had a breakout of it, hidden second entry short, which was a breakout of it, big bearish bar. And if that channel was right, you'd think it would come back in, wouldn't you? At least to the bottom, but it didn't. So I wouldn't have normally drawn that, see? But you mentioned it, and I drew it, so I've got to try and trade it how I see it. Hey Valentino, how you doing, buddy? How you doing? Oh, well done, mate. Well done. Does make a difference. I don't know how many people do 1 point anymore, but let me just pull that out of the way for now. Let's remove it for a minute. Okay. Okay. Possible second entry long. See how we get on here. Let's get an order ready. Add this trend channel and a break of it, see what happens. Okay, there's a possible failed second entry short there if that triggers. It's not something I want to get into going short at the moment. Let's see if it triggers, because there's probably going to be some shorts going in that. See if it triggers. Let's see if that triggers. It has triggered. Okay, what I'm going to do is just put my order one tick above there, see how we get on here. I'm going to leave it there just in case I've missed something here. Because I think there's going to be some shorts trapped there. So if we break above it, then hopefully then we're going to move up. But I've just left it there. I don't really want to get in just there. Okay, let's see if we can get up here now. That's triggered anyway. Let's see if we can get a strong push up here. Okay. Okay, well, at least we got something back anyway. Let's put that there. Okay. That was a second entry long. But I did take my order above there because it's also a possible fail second entry short which triggered, so I thought there may be some shorts in that, so I'd rather just be extra cautious and put my order above there. Cheers, Wood. I mean, normally you might have taken it there, but it wasn't a massive bullish bar, so I thought I'd give it a little chance to move higher and tick above there. So, okay, so let's got some back anyway, so that's a little bit more respectable. So where did I come out there? Let me have a look. No, I thought I get 4 points there. Is that about right? Yeah, 4 points. That's what I tend to do. Wait for it to break there, jam my stop in. If it does go higher, then happy days. If it doesn't, I've got my 4 points anyway. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 4 points. Okay. At least we've got some back anyway. You got 5.5 points. Good on you, Jacko. Cheers, Jimmy. Market order Dubai and everything went through all right, but did it? Which shows very high speed replication. Yeah, see, if you look, I had a look at Replicant over the weekend, and everything looks exactly the same. Because because somebody mentioned that they were aware that it was an older version of sorry, I'm trying to get my words out properly. That it was an older version of Replicanto. So whether it is or not, I don't know. I mean, the only problem I've had on this really was that issue I had where I had orders left that didn't trigger, which then turned into buy orders. So at the moment, when an order does trigger, it's going to be down here. If I let's say, for instance, come on. Why not working? Okay, let's say I do a short market. It's got accepted. So the 4 of them accepted. So when that triggers, what I'm ideally looking for is all 4 of those orders to be filled. Now, if just the PA account's filled and they sit there, all I've then got to do is just shut them 3 down and let the one that's filled left. So that should stop me from having that issue. And obviously I can see the positions tab there. That I should have 4 positions in. So I've got 2 indicators, one showing that I've got 4 positions moving and 2 showing they've gone from state to filled. So hopefully I shouldn't have that problem. But I'll see how I get on with it. If I still have issues with it after using it for a month or 2, then I'll maybe think about Replicanto. But I've just paid $150 for this a couple of weeks ago, so I'd rather try and at least give it some room, because I spoke to that, who's the guy, that Vince guy, not I spoke to him. I heard him mention he used it, so he's been trading 20 accounts with it. Now, V. Wilson uses it as well, and he's trading 20 accounts with it, so we'll see what happens. Okie dokie. Now, possible second entry long again. See if we get something good. Let's see what happens. Get an order ready. I mean, that has run out, but it's gone and made another high. See what happens. Second entry long if it does trigger. Yeah, I don't like what's happened there. See what happens. See if we push up. Okay, let's get rid of that. So it was cheaper. Yeah, what's Replicanto? Not sure, actually. I know you can use it, can't you? I don't know whether it's going to have any adverse effects with the trade copy, the Apex trade copy. I don't know whether it's going to conflict, have any sort of conflicting interests at all. Yeah, Brant, that's if that trend is valid. There's certainly tops. It certainly looks like it works okay, doesn't it? The tops are working nice. So, yeah. But if we don't, maybe if we can get a push up and then get a higher low, we'll see what happens. But it has come to the top section of it, so you tend to want to bring it back here and then start moving in the upwards direction. But see what happens. I didn't realise as well. I was doing some research. When you start a PA account, you know the rule of you can have up to $2,000 once a month. Now you can have 2 payments a month. I didn't realise you could have two $2,000 payments per month as long as you've got enough. So if I had say $8,000 in there, I could take 2,000, even on the first or second or third month, I could take $2,000 out twice per month. I didn't realise that. I thought it was you had 2 paydays just so it fitted with your trading a little bit more because, you know, if you've missed the 10 days and you've got to wait another month. But I didn't realise you can actually have 2 $2,000 payments. But that's the maximum you can withdraw at one time for 3 months. But I didn't realise I could have withdrawn because I noticed my account when I looked in it. And I remember him saying that if it shows that you can have a payment, if you click on payments and it shows your account there, then you're eligible for a payment. And it did the other day, and I'm thinking, why is it showing that? But yeah, I could have taken another payment. Obviously, I haven't got a massive amount here, but I didn't realise you could take 2 payments of 2,000 twice a month, even during your first 3 months. You're a dedicated CP without anything else, not even running antivirus. Yeah. I did the extra withdrawal. I thought it was just to give you another opportunity, because you know sometimes you had to trade for 25 days, didn't you? And then if you'd missed the 25th of the month, you had to change for another month. So I thought they'd just put that extra payment in there so that you wouldn't have to wait for a longer period. But I didn't realise. I didn't realise you could actually take 2 $2,000 payments a month. So you could effectively earn $4,000 in a month, even from your first couple of payments. But I didn't realise. Okay, so we've had this short-term trend and we've had a break. I'm not looking to short at the moment anyway. It's things are looking upwards at the moment. You can't get a windfall if one of your accounts for 30% of your profits. I just don't think they count that. Yeah, I mean, if you make $1,000 one day and $300 for the next, then I'm not sure. I just don't think they count that as a trading day, do they? That's all. I mean, they can't not count the money, because if I'm trading $200 or $300 a day and I happen to catch a big runner, you know, market pushes up and I move my stop up and it just keeps on going, which it can do from time to time. I don't think they can take your money away. They can just not class it as a trading day. I don't think. All they're after is people just trying to, cheat the system a bit. Follow the same trading plan always, yeah. Well, to be honest with you, I've been trading 2 contracts ever since day dot, so they can't say that I've, traded 10 contracts one day, got a big windfall, and then gone back to 2. I trade the same system. Okay, so we've had a break, possible 2 pushes up, but I'm not thinking about coming short here at the moment. I did do a little bit of studying over the weekend on Max, and he's clearly got it in big red letters, don't count a trend trade. As tempted as that may look, but at the moment we're moving up, so if that does end up bearish, then that may trap some traders. See if it does trigger, but it's not the most bearish of candles anyway, even if you wanted to go short there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, though, if you have 30% as one of your trading days, I just don't think they count that as a trading day, do they? Do you know what I mean? I think that's what it is. No, yeah, I mean, it's certainly looking bullish, isn't it? Trouble is, you could have said that was possibly higher low, isn't it? But especially after this short-term trend. Yeah, I mean, even if you, I mean, that wasn't a very bearish bar anyway, but even if you shorted there, it didn't trigger anyway, so you may have shorted there, and it had a reasonable push up there, so I dare say there's probably some shorts there. We just don't They'll count it as legitimate. Yeah, they just might not count it as a trading day. If you've done 10 days and one of those days you got over 30%, they may say we're only counting the 9 days. Obviously, they're not going to take your money away because sometimes, if I'd have gone long here, sometimes it just pushes up green. In a lot of cases, you're going to follow it. So, from time to time, you are going to get a decent payout. So I think they just don't count it as a trading day. That's all I think it is. Yeah, things are definitely looking bullish at the moment. That's for certain. Very bullish. Yeah, didn't even get back here, did it? I had my suspicions. Sometimes if the buyers are strong, it won't even make a new low, and it won't even get back here. Count the day and the money. They just count the day and the money. That they just don't penalise you. Yeah. Oh, good on you, Lucas. Just excuse me for a couple of minutes. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. Okay. I'm not sure what's causing all this positive moves, to be honest with you. 15 accounts, 300 today, compounds to 1 million for the year. Yeah, it's surprising, isn't it? $300 doesn't seem a lot for a day, does it? But you times that by 15 accounts, that's a lot of money. I never used to quite understand the idea of having loads of those, because I thought I'll just build the one account up. But it does make you it is an idea of spreading it. It does make things make sense, doesn't it? Fed said low interest rate hikes for next month. Okay, yeah, that would make sense. I did wonder whether the interest rates were looking more positive, so I think that's what's indicated, because I know my cryptos have been flying up lately. I think my one crypto's made something like 140% the last sort of couple of weeks. So at least that's some positive stuff to the market. So yeah, we might get a nice strong day today by the sounds of things. By the looks of things, things are looking good so far, and they're having no problem pushing up strongly. I mean, we had that break, and another push up, and that break didn't even come back lower, strongly pushed up. So hopefully if we can get something, then we can ride it up a bit. See, hindsight's amazing, isn't it? When I bought that, if I'd have had the confidence to, would it tick me out? It would have ticked me out anyway, so I did it right there. But sometimes you think if you buy down here and you just hold on for the day, maybe on one contract, and see what happens. But it's easy when you know what's going on, isn't it? But strongly pushing up, and it's in this. Let me just put the midline in here. Show midline. Yeah, it's just pushing straight off that midline, isn't it? Here. Straight through it there, sort of bounced off just above it there, bounced just below it there, strongly pushed up. Does anybody trade more than 10 accounts? I did read somebody mentioned it works fine on 10 accounts, but it can be more problematic. The trouble is, at the moment, if I have an order going through and it'll show four entries there as sort of ready, orders ready and then filled. But obviously the more you have, this is going to be a lot bigger, because obviously you're going to need to keep an eye and monitor. It's okay when I've got 4 and maybe even 6 or 8, but if you've got 20, you've got to monitor that many trades at the same time. Mind you, I suppose, even if some of them get filled, they're going to stay there, aren't they? And this is just going to be sat dormant, so... Okay, let's see what happens when we come back here. I'd like it to come a little bit below here to the middle line before I think about going longer. And at some point it may even come back here. It's gone right to the top there, but here it hasn't gone as high to the top of this channel, and same again, which makes me wonder maybe we're losing a little bit of the strength towards the top, and maybe we are going to work our way back to here. It's hard to say at the moment. At 10 accounts, it would definitely go replicanto. Flowbots, it's constantly updating it. Yeah, I did have a look on that Flowbot site the other day. In fact, what I might do is put a little post on one of their Facebook groups and find out people's opinions of either one. Has anybody gone from at the Apex one to, mind you, sometimes you get anyone, excuse me, sometimes you get anyone on there from Apex and you put a question like that, and they may not publish it. You have an issue when I move them. Yeah. Trouble is, if you've only used, I've had a couple of hiccups with this, but I think I've learned my lesson. So it might run nice and smoothly for now, but it depends when you have those hiccups. If you have those hiccups, 2 months down the line, because I've seen lots of people when I've mentioned about it saying they've never really had problems. They had a couple of teething problems, but once they knew how to deal with them, it was smooth sailing. So if you've had Replicanto from day one and it works well, they might work as well as each other. It's hard to say, isn't it? It depends what sort of experience. I mean, I've got a Vauxhall car. I've had it's one of the most reliable cars I've ever had. I've got friends with a Vauxhall who said, oh, they've had nothing but problems. So it's just, sometimes it can be your experience of it. We are strongly pushing back up. Didn't even get back to the EMA. UK sunny day. Where does it say that? KBL1. Where are you from, brother? I've not seen you before, I don't think. Where are you from? Cloudy at the moment, 6 degrees centigrade. Pretty fresh out there. Okay, strongly back to the top of there. Look. Yeah. Trade copy will give you all sorts of issues when you start moving your targets and stops while trading live. Have you used both, have you? Trouble is, when you pay $150, you want to try and get some use out of it. Yeah, it's only getting back to the midline, isn't it? And pushing up, that is pretty strong. Yeah, I kind of wish I hadn't bought it now, but well, it is what it is. Got to say, V. Wilson is constantly moving his, isn't he? I've seen quite a lot of times looking to go short, and he'll have it, and he'll be up, down, up, down, up, down, and he'll let the trade trigger, and then he tends to leave it and cancel it. Yeah, I have messaged him. I did message him when he passed his evaluations, and he's got all his accounts running. I wished him well, and I do chat from him to time. You bought the coffee for $75, did you? Yeah, it was $150 I paid, which is about £117 UK. I'll buy it for $75. I see what you mean. I thought you said you bought it. I don't think you can. I don't think they swap them or change them. I don't think you can resell it. I don't think. But no, he said he's had no real problems with it. But, you know, the issue I had with when I was going short and those three didn't trigger and they triggered long accounts, long trades, I didn't realise, I wasn't aware that could happen. So I think Daryl should have mentioned that, because when I mentioned it, there was a few people who got caught out with that one, and you don't really want to learn the hard way like that, do you? Okay, we'll have a bit of an overshoot there. Maybe that will cause it to come back to this side a bit. I'd much prefer a trending day, I've got to say. Watch Vince's 20-minute interview last night. He asked about 20 counts. He said most issues he's heard a computer not having enough power to run it. My computer's okay, actually. I forget, it came up as a nuclear sub or something. Daryl's got a video, isn't he? And you go onto this site and it tests all your hardware. I think the only thing that was lacking in mine was the graphics card. I've recently updated that, so mine comes out pretty good, actually. I actually built my computer because I wanted to build it with some good quality parts, so I got a good quality gaming motherboard. And I've got a Ryzen 7, I think it's 3800X, which scores very high. for some reason. Just got 16 mega RAM of a good quality DDR4. I got it. Is it an ME2 hard drive? The little stick. So yeah, mine came out all right actually. So yeah, if you're not sure on whether you think your system's strong enough, you can go onto that website that Daryl mentioned, and it'll test all your hardware and give you a sort of a general picture of whether it's suitable enough or powerful enough for trading. Mine was plenty, so that's on the good side. So it might be down to internet speed as well, whether that makes a difference. We've not got particularly fast internet. I think mine's running around about 55 megabits per second, which is... I can watch 4K video with it on the TV. And I've got mine hardwired as well to this computer, so I think everything is working okay on this. Who knows? He also trades 1 to 3 contracts per account. Does he really? He did well to draw that money out then, didn't he? 1 to 3 contracts per account, which is not a lot, isn't it? Even if you say 2 contracts. See, that's why I don't understand. He's got 2,300k contracts. Why have 2,300k contracts if you're only trading? Oh, you're on about Wilson. You're on about Wilson. Or you're on about that the Vince guy. Because I don't. If you're on about the Vince, I don't see why he's got $2,300,000 accounts if you're only trading 1 to 3 contracts. Unless you're on about Wilson, you might be on about Wilson actually, because he tends to keep his low, doesn't he? Oh no, Vince. So what's the point in having $2,300,000 accounts? Not only that, you've got to make $20,000 to pass your evaluation. Oh, he did. I'm going to say I don't see the point. If he's only trading that, really, I think by far the best value are the $50,000 accounts. That's what I've got. I don't intend on getting any more. He said he thought he'd trade more. He just didn't have the balls to swing that much. Mind you, to be fair, if he's got $800,000 in his account, another few months of that, he can retire, can't he? He must do really well then. But I would say if he's trading that much, if he's trading an average of 2 contracts per account, I don't know, let's say he's making, $300 a day. Times 10, that's 3,000, that's $6,000 a day, isn't it? It's not a huge amount. I thought he would be trading a lot more than that to withdraw that amount of money. It's weird, isn't it? We've had this overshoot, but all it's done is just pushed higher. There's definitely some confidence in the market, that's for certain. So I'm going to bring that down here, I think. Just a bit in the way there. That's a bit better. There we go. In fact, let's swap these around. Let's put the bigger one in the corner. Yeah, he trades the sniper system. First hour or two. Yeah, I've watched a little bit of who's the other guy that does it? Shalan Winter. He only trades for about an hour and a half, doesn't he? Shoots 1,000 per count on average per day. That's pretty good, isn't it, for trading 1 to 3 contracts? Simplicity, not the original sniper system. Yeah, I don't understand too much about it. I did consider joining it, but then I'm thinking, well, you really want to be sticking to just one and trying to master that rather than trying a different one. I believe in this system. If you trade it right, everything works well. It's just having that patience to keep trading it right, isn't it? Yeah, it's strong, that, isn't it? Usually when we have a sort of an overshoot, it can, in some cases, you would think it can go higher, but it can also create a turning point, can't it, in the other direction? But things look that bullish that it's just continued to go higher. Trouble is, if it comes back to this, the EMA, I'm a little bit too, I don't know, confident I'd feel trading that high in the channel, although it is continuously pushing higher, but I think it's riskier. It's certainly I'm down a little bit. Another trade would get me back in the green, but yeah, I don't think I'm too confident. I'd rather it come at least back to the midline first and then start moving higher. Highest earners traders are on the sniper system. That thing looks somewhere. Yeah, it is a bit messy. I've got to say, I think the thing that put me off it is it's $200 a month. To learn Max system, it cost me. Excuse me. To learn Max system cost me $120 for the year. I don't think I'd be comfortable paying $200 a month to learn a new system because it's going to take you time to learn it, isn't it? I think the one thing about trading already and having to learn to deal with the psychological side of it, you've certainly got a head start. But I think it's a lot of money for new traders getting into a system. The trouble is, a lot might give up, a lot might never get there, and I think it's a lot of money, paying $2,500 a year. I mean, I don't know why they don't make it cheaper until you start earning money, and then if you're earning money from it, then obviously put the price up. I did have this little thing with Daryl a while ago. I said I'd join it, but it's a lot of money, and he said, "Well, why would you have a problem with paying it if you're earning money?" And I went, "Well, if I was earning money, I wouldn't have an issue with it, but you're not just going to pick it up and start earning money from day one. You're going to have to learn the system first." So that was my issue with it. I'd rather not pay that money until I'm earning. Well, I don't mind paying some, obviously, for the system, but I certainly think it's going to limit the amount of people that do take it on purely simply just because of the price, especially with the way the economy is at the moment. Everything's expensive. That's going to be on the back burner, really, isn't it? There's no hint of it coming back, is it? It's still quite strong. I thought it may be losing a little bit of momentum once it's got above this channel, but perhaps it will. I don't know how confident I'd be fading this back in, especially because it's so high. You can special request additional months for trial. Yeah, I know you get a month 3, and then I think you get the second month for $1, but is 2 months enough to learn it? I'm not so sure. And not just that, I've spent the last year and a half learning this system, and the trouble is, sorry about that. Still haven't cleared this virus I've had properly. Still coughing from time to time. Yeah, I wouldn't even consider going long into this lot. That's what I mean. I said I don't know how confident I'd be even just fading the breakout into that lot. As strong as it is, I'd certainly like it to come back at least to the midline first. And then maybe wait for it to start moving higher again. But we've had this overshoot and we've had a new high. Like to think it's going to come back some. I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break and get a drink. I seem to be coughing and spluttering here. Be back about 5 minutes. Okay, let's have a look what's going on here. 1 point to 2 points. Yeah, I think 2 points is a good call, I think. Just go back and look on your trades or any decent trades and see what they got. Let's have a look here. Okay, so there's our new high. It's higher than that. Push down. Still don't know how confident I am, even if this pushes down and makes a second entry long. I don't know how confident I am pushing into that lot. If it does push, what's there, a couple of points max, so it might go higher, but I'm just not a fan of going into that lot. Doesn't look like it's going to come back anyway. Just seeing if there is a higher channel above there. Doesn't look very good, does it? Wasn't even really a setup here to fade, was it? That was a bit dodgy. You never know, it might have ticked above and then come back to the middle line, so there wasn't even wasn't really just thinking if I can open up this trend channel a bit steeper. Fits on the bottom, but I just don't like how far it is away. Look. It's only slightly steeper. Doesn't really go anywhere, does it? I'd like it to come back into this channel, really, certainly. Tell you what, there's no shortage of buyers up there, is there, considering how high it is? At the top of that channel, you tend to think a lot of buyers will take the profits up here around here, but it's just, they're quite happy chucking more money at it, aren't they? That doesn't look too bad, actually. See what happens. touched here, fits nice here, fits quite nice there. It's hard to say really at the moment. Okay, it seems to be going steeper, doesn't it? Let's just keep an eye on it. Just wondering whether this could be a spike. Something like that. Next one. Let's have a look at that. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. If I take it from that red candle, well. It's just hard to say, really. It does seem like a spiking channel, doesn't it? See what happens anyway. Keep this top tight. Doesn't look terrible, does it? It's hard to say at the moment, isn't it? Okay, so I'd say we're certainly at the top section of here anyway, aren't we? So let's have a look. Let's just pull it out of the way for a time anyway. It's something like that, I suppose. It may just be a slightly steeper angle, but that does seem like a spike and a channel. It is sort of fitting quite nice along here, isn't it? Let's have a look. Yeah, there wasn't really a setup there anyway as such, was there? Yeah, the EMA. DZ, yeah, the excuse me. You can only really take it really back here, can't you, on the way up? Trouble is, any of these, although they push it up, it's just too risky. That's sort of like your lifeline, isn't it, really? That's your sort of flotation device. Shall I get rid of that? Sim account. Can't seem to figure a way to get it off here. I can select one or all, but not seem to be... I'll get rid of that sim account for now. WPAN. Yeah, I got the 10,000 tick chart here. That might help me. I wouldn't go long until we come back to here earlier there. It's that strong. Half the time, it's not even coming back there. Looks like we're going to get to the top. Yeah, certainly more room. It is stalling though, isn't it? It's got to come back to the EMA for my liking, really, or at least back to the... If it breaks out the EMA, then I might bring this larger channel in, see, but look at that. It's definitely... See, that is a range. And if we can break out the range and come down to here, then I might... Okay, that looks okay. We can come down here a bit. It's that bullish. If we can come down here, we can get close enough to the EMA. That is a potentially... They're all the same height. That is a potential second entry long. We just don't know if it's going to come down here, is it? Every time we think it's going to come down a bit, it just seems to push up some more. Yeah, I don't tend to follow last week's highs, really, but I don't know, maybe I should. I don't think I go back that far in my chart, do I? No, I do. Let's pop one in anyway. I'm not sure what day that was. Let's pop it in anyway, see if it plays a part. Strongly going back up again, isn't it? See if it breaks out and comes back. I don't even... it's just not looking any sign of weakness at all, is it? See if it... ATR's low as well. Yeah, I'd like it to come back here, somewhere around about here, either the EMA or here, and then start moving in. It's definitely losing momentum, isn't it? Mind you, we've had quite a fairly strong move up, haven't we? 15, near on 50 points. Mind you, sometimes 50 points is nothing. Just when you think it can't go higher, it comes back to the EMA and rockets off another 20, 30 points. If I'm looking on the daily, it does look like we may have a breakout of this range, doesn't it? It's gone up really strong, isn't it? We had a breakout maybe a couple of weeks ago, was it? Or a bit longer than that, maybe. And it shot down strongly. So this is the first we've had since here. It's looking very bullish, isn't it? One leg, could we have a couple of legs up? It's possible, isn't it? It's certainly looking bullish. Strong out the top. Look at that, strong, look at that. You wouldn't expect that, would you? Just excuse me just for a couple of minutes. Okay. It's touching nice along here. Bit of an overshoot. See if that does come back here. Still very strong, isn't it? Might even get back here. Yeah, it is. Trying to retest the tops. 1, 2, 3. 3 and 4 days ago, which we marked there. It does look like it's likely to hit them, doesn't it? Whether it'll bounce or whether it'll push strongly through, it's hard to say, just the way it's looking. So I do expect it to come up here. So if we can get a couple of legs down to here or here, then it might be worth riding it up. Trouble is, every time it comes close, it just shoots up, doesn't it? There wasn't really a setup there. See what I mean? It's just... Thing is, we had a couple of overshoots back here, and it came back in a little bit, shot up some more. So even if we had this little overshoot, which is not massively convincing, if we can get 2 legs down here, even with the overshoot, I'd still be inclined to go long. Got to get down here though. Come on. Pure shite. Look at that. Woof. You wouldn't have expected that, would you? There's no holding it back, is there? See if it rejects it here. Yeah, let's bring it down a bit. We'll see if it does fit any better. It's not come back here, has it? See, that's the trouble. You can keep extending it, and mind you, even with overshoots, we had overshoots back there. Didn't seem to make a damn bit of difference. No setup anyway. You tend to think that was a spiking channel, wouldn't you? I mean, you could. See what happens. Right, it's right at the top of that. Okay, strongly above it, look. Wow, look. Okay, I think there's a good chance now we're going to pop out the top of this range, I'd say. Very strong, that is. Could be 1 leg up, 2 legs up. Very strong. Weird, isn't it? Sometimes, some days, yeah, you don't think it can go any higher, and it flipping rockets. Let's put that back there. Spiking channel to the lows here. Yeah, that's clearly shot out the top, isn't it? Weird, isn't it? Very strong today, I've got to say, very strong. Trouble is, sometimes when you get it to that strong, it just never comes back confidently enough to take a trade. That actually fits quite nice there, so I'm going to get rid of that for the time being. Fits really nice there, and we've had a push come back and a strong push up. Yeah, that fits really nice there. Let's leave that there for now. There probably is something shorter here, but it's by the by now anyway. We've rocketed up. Going to run out of screen in a minute. Yeah, we're coming up now to test the highs of this this daily. Let me just get it a bit accurate. In fact, right now, I think. Okay, that's the highs. I think we've just actually broken above it. See if this does cause it to come in. It's hard to say, isn't it? You just don't know. Good positive news. This could be the entry out. Last time we went out, we came back strongly, but it's not giving us that impression now, is it? So look at that, towards the top. Rocket straight up. What did it go up there? 13 points, something like that? Yeah, isn't it? No slowing it down, innit? The trouble is you just can't jump in on that, can you? I couldn't short that if I wanted to, the way that's going up. I know it is, isn't it? It's just frustrating when you get such a strong push up and just no real where Apart from that one, I can't see a massive. I don't know, you may have taken that one. It's hard to say. Just nothing really, nothing there. I mean, just the way that was indicating, we could have come back to the midline or possibly here. But look, just when you think it can't go any higher, it just keeps going. Guaranteed though, second you jump in here, it'll trigger you, come back down to the EMA. Typical, isn't it? You just can't short that, can you? Just how strong it is. I mean, you've got to think it's going to come back to the EMA at some point, but it's mega risky, isn't it? That'll likely trigger and then push up some more. Yeah, you're not wrong. They've dwindled. I'm not seeing them like I used to. And what setups, they just happen that quick, don't they? And there's not a lot. In fact, I think twice this week, over the last week, I saw Mark already mention, literally put a couple of trades in. Mac as well had a couple of days where he only had 3 or 4 trades. It's just not a lot at the moment. Somebody's making money, just not the scalpers. So you can have traders thinking it's got to come down at some point. I'll be surprised if some don't put them in there, but when that happens, it just keeps going again. You think it's got to slow at some point, but it's clearly pushed out the top of the range on the daily now. Now, whether that'll push out some more or whether it'll come careering down, I don't know. It's just looking very positive. The trouble is, sometimes the steeper something goes up, the quicker it comes down. But we've had a few overshoots, haven't we? And doesn't seem to do much. So that's trigger below there, or if that's trigger below there, but I wouldn't be happy about bringing that back here, just the way things have been. Every time we've had something like that, it's just gone up again. Excuse me just for a few minutes. Okay, down she comes. Right, would anybody go long there? Such a big push up, isn't it? Short-term trend over the break. 2 push up to a new high. A little bit sideways, coming back down. Would you say this was a breakout of a... It is very strong today, isn't it? This is almost a little range, isn't it? Most breakouts fail. It's hard to say. After taking in the best setups, yeah, see that? It's a failed breakout the range, isn't it? Would you take a long here? Risky, innit? See what happens. It's a little bit sideways there. Risky, isn't it? Fade the breakout. See how that ends. Every time it's come down, it's rocketed again. Don't know how I feel about that. Let's get one ready. Okay. Okay, see what happens. Every time it's come back to you, it's rocketed off. We've had this little bit of a range here. So I've faded the breakout. See what happens. Give that an extra tick. Every time it comes back, the buyers just jump straight in. Oh, no. No, this is not going to work, is it? Not going to work. See if it ticks below here. Then. It's going to plow through that quickly. I just saw a little bit of sideways, a little bit of a range. Fade the breakout. Just... Ooh. Buyers aren't getting involved. I'm just wondering if that ticks below here, may that... which it has. Let's have a look. It's going to take me out, isn't it, I think? Yeah, it is. Okay. Oh, well. Oh, well. It's frustrating, isn't it? As soon as you come back, I just thought a little bit of sideways moving, fade to breakout. Every time it comes close to this, it just seems to rocket up. Yeah, it probably is super risky. That's all right, bud. See, look at that now, look. I gave it 1 tick, an extra tick. Would that make a difference? Tempted to go here. That's really strong, isn't it? That's a second. That's just risky, isn't it? Yeah, it's a second entry long. It's just risky. See if it comes back a bit. Just typical, isn't it? Comes back 3 ticks below me and off it goes again. Look. I was tempted to go in here, but I just, after that bad decision, I thought I'd wait a bit before I start making decisions like that. What did it go up? Yeah. Look at that. Look. Oh my good God. Typical, isn't it? Comes down by about, I gave it an extra tick. It came down 1 tick more and then went off like a rocket. That's frustrating, isn't it? Yeah, it's been quite a tough trade today, I've got to say. This is when you've got to be extra careful, isn't it? Just the one, did you? Oh, don't worry, mate. Don't worry. Well, I just thought every time it comes close to the EMA, and it has, you know, I hear Max sometimes saying when you get strong days like that, every time it comes back to the EMA and ends up bullish, off it goes. I gave it an extra tick. One more tick would have done the trick, but I'm just thinking, you know, strong push up, a little bit of sideways, small range, fade the breakout, big sort of bullish bar off the EMA. Well, it did, but obviously not where I wanted. Well, you're supposed to fade the breakout, aren't you? I'm going to call it there actually for the day. Actually, I'm going to have the rest of the day off, I think. So have a great evening, guys, and I will catch up with you. I'll be trading again tomorrow. So have a great afternoon.